Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be back here at SAG-AFTRA Foundation. Yes! Doesn't this movie just make you smile? Isn't it like a feel-good crowd pleaser all the way, Morris for America? I saw this movie 9 months ago. Sheesh, that feels like just yesterday at the Sundance Film Festival. And I love Sundance because I got to discover movies like this. Please welcome the winner of the Waldo Screenwriting Award from the Sundance Film Festival, writer, director, Chad Hartigan. Please welcome, giving a breakthrough performance in Morris from America, Morris himself, Markees Christmas. Woohoo! And winner of the Jury Award for Best Individual Performance from Sundance, please welcome Craig Robinson. Well, you know, the first question at these Q&As, it's always sort of a cliche to start with this, but it fits. So, you know, Chad, tell me where the inspiration came from and why this was sort of somewhat autobiographical, but sort of in reverse.
Yeah. The first thing that was the seed of Morris from America was when I was 12 years old, would really hump my pillow a lot. And one day I got tired of just humping it, and so I put some clothes on it and I danced with it, and then I humped it. And I would tell that story to people, and they would always laugh. And so I thought, you know, that'd be a good scene in a movie if you could really capture what makes it so funny, but also sad and innocent. And then I just started thinking from there, and I thought about a coming of age movie and pulled other things from my own life, like I really got squirted in the pants when I thought I was getting a kiss from a girl, and
happens to the best of us.
But that was 3 weeks ago. That wasn't. And I really wrote the lyrics "fucking all the bitches 2 at a time" when I was 12, and my teacher found it in my notebook, and I got in big trouble. So it was taking things from my own life, but then I'm not interested in just making an autobiographical movie because even I wouldn't want to see that. So then it's about trying to find different characters or different situations and test the universality of those experiences by seeing how far away from myself can I take it and still have it feel like authentic.
Well, why Europe and why specifically Germany?
Right. I did grow up in Europe. I grew up in Cyprus in the Mediterranean. And so I knew I wanted to set the film in Europe. But Germany was the most recent country I had visited when I started writing it. So it was just kind of fresh in my brain.
Well, you know, Markees, how did this come about for you?
I mean, really out of nowhere. I'm just going to be straight up with you. Basically, I mean, one day my mentor just gave me a call. You got an offer for an audition. I mean, you can go in for an audition for this part. He asked me if I wanted to do it first because he knew I wasn't comfortable with that. I mean, I was real shy back in the day. So, I mean, once I actually got around to it, I went to the audition, which I missed the first one.
What was the audition is the question.
He said,
what was the audition? Do you remember?
What scenes did you give me?
You have the scene with Inca.
Yeah.
Teach me how to be charming scene. And then the is your dick big scene.
Those were my audition scenes.
Sorry there's a kid here. I really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in for the audition, got a call I'd say about a good 2-3 weeks later for a callback. Me and Chad went to the park with my mentor, ran a few lines, and I mean, That was history. He called me back like a couple of days after that, saying I got the part.
And when you told your family you got the part, did they not believe you at first?
I'm gonna tell the truth. I mean,
Tell the truth.
I mean, with the sibling rivalry going on, I mean, it was just like my sister. It was just like the only one. Like, you didn't get any movie part. Just shut up. But yeah, I mean, it happened for me, and I mean, yeah, I kind of just like got bragging rights around the house now.
But
Well, yeah.
Markees had never acted before. He had only been in some like skits, these videos for something called Channel 101 that his mentor would do with him, and that's how I saw him. But it was the very first audition you had ever gone to, right?
Yeah,
Well,
very
what
first
is this
audition.
like to for you to make your big screen debut and basically carry the film? You know, it's you or Morris, and it's all you.
I mean, to tell the truth, I mean, I just treated the set as if it were a playground. I mean, Chad, you could back me up on this. I mean, I pretty much just like, that was just like where I had fun at. I mean, I pretty much fell in love with being on the set once I actually got there and got used to being around everybody. Because, I mean, I don't like working in front of a lot of people. But, I mean, I just ended up being comfortable with it.
Well, okay, so you're told that you're going to be in this movie with Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
And how excited were you about that? I mean,
Wait, tell him who you were picturing when you were reading it. Do you remember?
All right, Craig. I mean, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm gonna tell the truth. I was completely picturing Cleveland Brown, and then once he told me, because like I really didn't know Craig's name. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't know Craig's name. I've watched Hot Tub Time Machine over like 10 times, even though I wasn't supposed to. But I've watched Hot Tub Time Machine, and once I actually Googled his name, I'm like, whoa, him, the guy with the afro? What did I say? Cleveland Brown. And I mean, that's all she wrote.
Craig Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Robinson. All right, here's my question. So, all the reviews that I read out of Sundance and when the movie opens, including my own, use the word revelation for your performance in this movie. And, you know, even though you're doing a serious role on Mr. Robot, this was a big departure for you for a feature to do something that had more depth. So what did you think the first time you read Chad's screenplay, and how excited were you to do something that really challenged you and went deeper than normal?
First of all, wow, really? Okay. I was, what really captured me at first was the way that Curtis talked. I was like, okay, I kind of talk like that, kind of curse every once in a while, and just into hip hop and all that. So I saw some similarities there, and then the challenge of hitting all those layers was tempting to me. And then I met with Chad, and he just kind of made it seem like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it together, and get through it. So I trusted him, and he trusted me.
Now, what was the first time you met Markees? Like, did you just sort of pick up on the chemistry, and by the way, Chad, how soon did you see the chemistry between them and just go, nailed this, this is gonna work?
We met. Markees was on his way to Germany, I don't know, a couple of days. So we met, they scheduled a meeting for us to say hello. And I'd seen his videos funny, silly videos called Markees Versus. So I was like, okay, this guy, I like his sense of humor. And he said he was a fan. He didn't mention anything about Cleveland Brown. But he said he was a fan, so we hit it off, and I was like, okay, this is my instant little brother. So then next time I saw him, we had like a rehearsal at the hotel in Germany.
Yeah, I wasn't at that meeting. I was already in Germany. So a producer was there, and she sent me a photo of the two of them together, just going like, ah. And that was all I got in terms of their chemistry. But then when Craig showed up. We were halfway through filming, and we got to go to his hotel room on the weekend before he started and read through the scenes. That was the first time I heard it, and I knew that it was going to be good.
How long was principal photography? How long did you have to make this movie?
27 shooting days.
Jeez, wow, 27.
Is that a lot or a little?
How much, especially Craig from your background, how much did you sort of want to go off script and improvise, or were you just like, nope, read what I wrote?
We didn't do a lot of improvisation. I mean, there was a couple of moments, but it was really about, like I said, I liked the vernacular. So we were cool with.
The first time we met, one of the first things you said was, "You wrote this?"
That must have been a fun set, I gotta say. But let's talk about filming in Germany, because not only did you film in Germany, but you had to speak German. So how long did it take you to? Did you learn the language, or did you learn exactly what you had to say?
I learned my scenes, and as a musician, I have this ear. I can pick up on things pretty good. So they sent over the pronunciation. Somebody's reading it, and I was listening. And I have a friend from Liechtenstein, so she came and helped me out a little bit. And then some people over in Germany, I would practice. I wanted that to be like crystal clear.
Yeah, but Markees, you have a lot more to say in German. So was it the same sort of situation with Craig, where you just learned those lines, or did you learn more?
The same thing. I mean, Chad sent me a CD with someone saying the lines, and I just pretty much just like copied them over and over again. And then once I got there, I mean, I was pretty much studying German while I was there, just like having fun, just being a tourist. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how my lines came about.
Let's talk a little more about being in Germany. I mean, like, how fun was that? What'd you do at night?
Yeah, Craig, what'd you do at night?
We filmed in. They filmed in Frankfurt as well, right? Yeah, just one day. Yeah, but it was mostly. I got there, and when I got there, they were having what's called Bergfest, which is middle of the shoot party. So they had this party at like a barn, and it was showing scenes, and it was food, and it was nice. And and I later learned that that's the party where everybody's supposed to make out with everybody. I missed that part, but so then we spent that week in Heidelberg, and then when we left Heidelberg, the last night there we had Heidelberg Fest. So that's already 2 parties in 2 weeks, and then we went to Berlin. Okay, Heidelberg is nice and quaint town. It's real. It's clean. It's a 1,200-year-old castle there. It's dope. It's just nice. And then Berlin is like, yeah, So I spent a week in Berlin, and then when I was leaving, we had Craig Fest. So it was like, yeah.
Define Craig Fest.
Craig Fest is just another party. Like, okay, something's changing, so let's have a party about it.
They like to party in Germany. Later on, we would shoot all week, and then on Friday nights we would routinely, not Markees, but we would stay out till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and like all weekend long, and then shoot again. And it wasn't until Sundance that in a conversation the Americans like mentioned like, man, those you Germans like go hard. We were trying to keep up with you, and they were like, wait a second, we were trying to keep up with you. So we were both just like trying to out-party each other.
Well, for Markees, what for you? I think I might know the answer to this, and so do you probably. What was the hardest scene, the most challenging scene to film, and why? Again, I think we know the answer to this question.
I'm pretty sure the whole house just got like their whole brain just sitting on top of pillow scene. So I'm just gonna let that loose. Yep, it's the pillow scene. I mean, you finally got the answer. You're the first one to get the answer, because that's the only time I've ever answered that question. And it is the pillow scene. I'm going to admit that now.
How many, takes did you do?
One long one and like...
I think we did 3.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, could have just let me tell like a little white lie right there. But yeah, I mean, we did about like 3 takes. Yeah, we did do about like 3 takes, 1 long one, and like 2 just me just fooling around with the pillow.
Yeah, some real explicit stuff with that pillow.
We've all been there. Moving on. Tell me about Sundance. I mean, I've done the Sundance thing 15 straight years, and it's not like Toronto or Cannes where there's a big movie and you sort of know what to expect. The beauty of Sundance, it is a true celebration of independent film. So many big discoveries have come out of Sundance just in the last 20 years alone. But to discover, and I mean discover, a film like Mars from America, for the audience and for reporters and journalists and critics is great. But for the filmmakers, it has to be an exhilarating experience to release your film out into the world like that. What was it like for all of you to have the movie so well received at Sundance?
Yeah, it's nice. But I mean, actually sitting there and watching it the first time, even though people are laughing and you can kind of feel like it's going well, it's miserable. It's a torturous experience for me. Just, I don't know, like, you can't explain it. It's, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But then, yeah, people were very complimentary, and that felt good. It just, we knew, you know, that going into it, that the audiences there are typically on your side. They want to like the movies, and so you kind of have to lose them rather than like win them over, which other audiences are more like, all right, let's see. So it was great. It was a nice atmosphere for me. But I don't know, these guys could tell you what they felt because they hadn't seen it yet. They saw it for the first time at Sundance.
Oh, you saw it for the first time at Sundance. So that's got to be a little nerve-wracking to see it for the first time with 2,000 people in the room. Is it?
For me, I mean, I was just happy to go to Sundance. I had never been, and I was just excited, and it moved a lot. It moved because there was a lot of press, and then the movie, then the party, get up press, and it was just, and I was only there for like 2 or 3 days, so it moved really quick. But it was such an honor to to just be there and then get those reviews saying stuff like revelation, and to go to your point earlier, I figured I would get into drama or at some point. I just didn't know. So Chad came, and then Chad came along with this, and my agent was like, hey, you got to read the script, and then we met. So it just kind of, like Markees said, but out of nowhere. But then I left Sundance, and I had gone, and I was just riding cloud 9 just from being there. And then Chad was like, hey, what you doing tomorrow? He called me on a Saturday morning. I was like, nothing. He said, you want to come back to Sundance? You won the award. I was like, what? Get out of here. So mine was blown. It was incredible. And
I called you at 8 in the morning that day, the day of the award. You had to.
Was it that morning?
That morning, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But you could have called me the night before.
Yeah, they told me the night before, or I got a call from the Sundance guy the night before, but I ignored it because I was chatting up a girl at a bar at Sundance, and then I didn't listen to it in the morning, and it was asking if we could try and bring Craig back to win the award.
Well,
we got him there.
But this is going to Sundance for you was the first time not only that you went to Sundance, but that you saw snow.
Yeah,
What was that like?
I mean, the snow pretty much covered up Sundance. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to the movie, to tell the truth. I was really just too excited about the snow. Pretty. I mean, it was just too much fun to me. I've never seen it before, and I mean, it's crazy because I have access to a cabin not too far from here. It's in Big Bear, so I mean, I don't know why I never go up there, but I just got to see snow for the first time. I was just going crazy. But as far as like just seeing the movie on the screen, I'm just gonna tell you, I just like sunk down for the rest of the movie after the pillow scene. So
yeah. That pillow scene. As your career keeps escalating and going upward, they're never gonna forget the pillow scene. Yeah. Trust me.
I hope that people like really go at it on the internet and turn it into like put different soundtracks on it. And,
Next question for you, Markees. is how else has your life really changed since the movie opened? I mean, you know, not the public, the critics, and have you sort of thought about where you want your career to go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to go to more auditions. I'm actually starting to work now, just here and there. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where the movie's taking me. I'm just pretty much just going off a buzz right now, just trying to get some work.
Strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say you got to join SAG now. You got to join SAG now.
Are you not in SAG? We're already here. Let's do it right now. Well, I have some questions here from SAG-AFTRA members. I would like to read from Jamelia Majesty. Is that right, Jamelia? Jamila. Hi, Jamila. This is for the director. That's you. After the filming was complete, what was the deepest moment of revelation you had from this production?
You mean in terms of the movie or my own life?
Life, career. How about both?
That's a tough question, but something that does pop into my head is that my 33rd birthday happened while we were editing the movie, and I was sitting there with the editor, and I realized that this is the first time I had ever been paid to make films, and I had been out of school for 12 years, 11 years. And it was a very wonderful feeling to be in the editing room working on something that I had spent a long time putting together and also was being paid to do so. Because I had made previous films that I lost money making, which is fine. That's
better this way.
That's it just felt like it's a long journey, and I'm 34 now. I still feel like relatively young in terms of a filmmaking career. So I'm well aware that it's a long journey for patient people, and it felt like I was going on the right track and at a good pace when I was sitting there on my birthday.
Next question is from Skylar James. Skylar, are you here? Hey, Skylar. So this question is for Craig Robinson. That's you. What about this role and the production of the film have changed your approach to acting?
Nice question, Skylar. Soon after this role, they were looking for somebody for Mr. Robot, and to play his character. And so my agent sent over the scenes from the movie went out yet. My agent sent over the scenes from Morris from America, and then I ended up talking with the director, and he was like, "You can make that turn I need you to make. I just need somebody to make this turn." He didn't even tell me what the thing was about. He just said it was a character who's the king of the neighborhood kind of thing. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I ended up being a warden in a prison. Spoiler alert. But so this role, especially with that last scene, the car scene, it was so it was such a challenge. Not only because in length, but it was like, you had to live that moment of seeing his wife and knowing it's going to be his wife, and then conveying it to him, and then this dude was right there, like on cue every time, crying. So it was always like pushing us. It's made me breathe more, to answer your question, in part that's due to drama. My acting teacher used to say, comedy is ping pong, drama is tennis, and it's helped me really see what that is. It was like time to really, because in comedy you gotta like timing and everything and be right there, but here it was like, okay, take a moment, breathe, and just envelop yourself in it.
Another question for for Chad. This is from Chris O'Reilly. Chris, you here? Oh, hey, Chris. What's up, man? So the question, you got two here, is as both writer and director, what roadblocks did you face when you were pitching and creating this feature? And the flip side to that is what were the benefits of being writer-director?
I mean, a lot of the typical roadblocks, you know, it's easy now that the film exists to watch it and see that it's entertaining. But when it's just a script about a 13-year-old black kid in Germany who humps his pillow and it's half subtitled, it's harder to get people to be like, yeah, it's gonna be fun, you know. So you know, I had along the way people give me really bad suggestions. You know, at one point they were trying to put pressure on me to have Morris walk in on his dad and his tutor having sex, and you know, that's just a bad idea.
Oh man.
Oh, that's right. That was Craig's idea. But in general, I actually would say this was surprisingly easy to get made. You know, I wrote it, and then I went to Germany, and I met with production companies there, and one of them just liked it and was in the system there and started applying for the government funding, because government funds the movies there. And we got money from the German government to make the movie. So it took a little bit of time, but it was actually pretty smooth, and I didn't really have to change much about the script in order to get it made. And we got it made for a budget that we would never get here. It's still low, very low budget, but more than we would ever get here. So that was very lucky. What was the second part of the question?
What was the flip side? What were the benefits of being both writer and director?
I guess. Oh, and then being the writer and director, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. In sometimes, you know, especially this movie's a lot bigger than the last one. So we were like that car shot. I didn't know how you would accomplish that car shot, but I could explain like what I wanted it to look like, and then someone else can kind of help figure out the practicals. And so I feel like it's a misconception that the director has to know how to do everything. You just have to know the script, the material, better than anyone else. And so that when someone asks you a question, they're asking you a question, the answer is in the script, you know. If they're like, should you wear this red coat or this blue coat? And like, I may not know the answer, but I know better than anybody else, at least. So there's like a confidence that comes with being the writer and director, that I know the material better than anybody. So that qualifies me to be the director, even if I don't know how to accomplish specifically all the things I want to accomplish. That's how you learn as you do it. But I felt confident in that knowledge, that I was the smartest about the material. If that makes sense.
Well, right now, Mars from America is on demand, and it's on like, you know, Time Warner Cable. You could stream it. So make sure you go on like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope. I don't know if you're still using MySpace. Whatever it is, and just make sure you spread the word about Mars from America. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys.
And thank you very much, gentlemen. All right.
Thank you.